And then she sits down directly to my right, literally the next, where you are to me, directly next to me. And she looks over at me, she's putting her little card in, and then she puts her money in, and she goes, you know, I hate this machine. You either win or you lose. And I'm thinking to myself, no shit, lady. You either win or you lose. What the fuck do you mean? And like, when I'm in the zone gambling, I fucking hate when people talk to me.
What'd she say?
I hate this machine. You either win or you lose. So, like, don't fucking talk to me when I'm in the zone gambling. Like, when I'm sitting there next to somebody and we're on the same slot machine, they're like, oh, I hope I hit a bonus. Oh, good job. When I get it, like, fuck off, dude. I don't want to talk to you. So, anyway, she's there for literally 2 minutes, dude. And then, boom, hits the biggest progressive. All right, she hits the biggest thing. It's like $124,000. And then she hits a progressive to double that to $248,000 directly to my right.
It's time for the Garage Boozing Podcast.
What's up, nerds? And welcome back to another episode of the Garage Boozing Podcast. I'm your host, the man with absolutely no plan, the Chase with the face for radio, Chase Shurga. And boy, do I have one hell of an episode for you guys today. I am joined by my two very good friends, Noah Dugan and Brady Sausville. And man, I don't even know where to start because this conversation goes all over the place like we always do here in the garage. And I know you're going to love it. So without further ado, folks, you know what time it is. It's time to sit back, relax, kick your feet up, crack open a cold one. And if you're really feeling fruity, take a shot. Why not? Because this week's episode of the Garage Boozing Podcast starts now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Garage Boozing Podcast. Today I am joined by two very special guests. To my left, your right if you're watching on YouTube, we have Noah Dugan. And to my right, your left if you're watching on YouTube, we have Brady Sausville. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us. I appreciate it.
Much appreciated. First podcast ever.
Is your first time being on a podcast?
Ever.
I'm honored.
I feel like Joe Rogan.
I wish I was Joe Rogan. That'd be sick. Maybe one day. Who knows? But yeah, that was actually like the fourth time we had to try to record that podcast because this motherfucker to my right kept laughing at me. So
I can't help it. Left if you're on YouTube.
What's that? I know you're a big businessman, but can I say fuck? Is that allowed? Like
That's allowed.
all right, what's my garage? I can say fuck if I want to.
You can do and say whatever you want tonight.
I like how you're giving me permission on what I can say in my garage.
You're the boss.
I am the boss.
You
You're
say
right.
jump, we say how high.
Jump. You didn't say how high.
That's fair. But that just goes to show
That's the direct.
the respect that I have.
What a guy. So I've known both of you for quite some time, actually. Actually, I don't even know who I've known longer. I've known Noah forever, and it's funny how me and Noah became friends because like we were actually never friends, and I got free tickets to a wrestling event. How did you even end up coming with us?
Because
was it Ethan?
Yeah, so because Ethan's one of my best friends, and somewhere along the way, I think because it was you and Donovan, and somewhere along the way you invited Ethan, and Ethan was like, "Hey, do you want to go to a wrestling show?" I was like, "Absolutely not." He goes, "It's free." I was like, "All right."
I forgot.
Yeah, that's
You're
it.
like the WWE man.
Oh, I love wrestling, dude. It's my shit.
Even though it's fake?
We don't use the F word in the garage, right? Hey, listen.
I was just asking.
You like movies? No, you don't watch movies?
Not really.
Do you watch TV shows?
Yep.
Are they fake?
Yeah, they are.
All right, exactly. So,
But I've never seen Cinderella or Lion King. Actually, I just saw
Shut
Lion
the
King.
fuck
I
up.
just saw Lion King for the first
I've
time.
never seen Cinderella.
Or Aladdin. Swear to
I
God.
definitely
And I'll
saw
tell you why. Because I don't like TV shows that aren't like realistic.
Dude,
Swear to God.
when you were a
That's
kid,
fair.
though, like when you were a kid, you were just like, "Pfft, I've never seen this because it's not real.
Yeah.
When you're 3 years old,
Like never.
you're
I swear to God.
you're an asshole. All right,
I
so
swear to God.
anyway, so that's how I met Noah, and then we instantly just hit it off and became like best friends. I don't know how I met you. How did I meet you? Do you know?
I think it was through parties because of me.
Yeah, this is the second time I've ever been to this house.
I'm
but I
pretty-
remember it vividly. That's the first thing I said to Noah when I got here.
Is that true?
Crazy,
Because
yeah.
I remember
And,
a party of mine that you came to. Because when I first bought the house, they used to have parties like fucking once a month. It was nuts.
I had first started at Northwestern Mutual. This is crazy. I remember seeing you had a bunch of ties draped over your door, and I'm like, oh man, this guy must make a lot of money.
Oh, yeah, when I was working
I
at
got to
Verizon.
meet with him. I swear to God.
That's so funny.
Absolutely. I think it was probably my freshman year in college I met you.
It was probably 2016, 2017.
Yeah,
That's when I first started having parties. And then
I don't even remember how me and Brady became friends.
I was going to ask that. Like, how do you guys know each other?
I honestly don't know.
Is it because you saw Brady Badass on Instagram and you're like, I got to follow him?
I honestly have no idea how I met
No.
Noah. Isn't that funny?
Why don't you go by that anymore?
But we just kind of like, I felt like, I felt like at
Doesn't-
one point in our life we kind of just started hanging out, and then it was just kind of game over from there.
That's how it was.
Yeah,
in
but I don't
Iraq.
even know where I first saw your face. I honestly don't know.
It would have had to been SUNY Adirondack.
Where did you go to high school?
That's
Cambridge.
The fuck is that?
Is Cambridge west of here?
northeast. No, it's more like southeast.
Southeast.
Like Albany?
No, it's the exact opposite. of
No,
Albany.
so if you were
go
near
through-
if you were near Malta and you just cut west or east hard, you'd probably end up in
Yeah.
Cambridge at some point.
you go through Green. You go through so.
I don't know if I've ever been to
Actually,
Cambridge.
if you go from here, you'd go through Fort Edward, then Greenwich, and then you're in Cambridge.
Yes.
Oh, so Cambridge is next to Fort Edward. I mean Greenwich.
Yes.
Greenwich, yeah, and then there's Hoosick Falls. So K through 12 all in one school. I graduated with 58 kids.
Wow, explains a lot.
Yeah, one red light.
That's your favorite line.
One red light. Yep.
So we don't know how you guys met.
I honestly am trying to think of it.
We
really hard
met
right
in
now.
college. We definitely met in college.
Did you go to SUNY Adirondack?
Yeah, for 2 years. Well, technically 4. I got my 4 year through Plattsburgh, but I was still at the ACC campus.
Yeah, I
in
didn't graduate.
Queensbury.
I went to SUNY Adirondack, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
For
Coach-
3.5 years, and I don't have a 2-year degree.
Coach Job would be pissed if he heard us say ACC.
Yeah,
it's
it's-
a SUNY school now.
It's so funny because when I originally when I was going to college, I got accepted to Cortland, the only school I applied for, but I didn't go because my girlfriend at the time was still in high school here. So I was like, oh, I can't leave her. Like I'm gonna go to SUNY Adirondack, ACC, whatever. And my dad would always correct me every time I said ACC because at this point it just became a SUNY school. And I'd be like, ACC is like SUNY Adirondack, SUNY
Yeah.
Adirondack every time. I'm like, all right, same thing.
Yeah, I got accepted to, besides ACC, I got accepted to Cortland and St. Rose.
Oh, okay.
And then the baseball coach, Casey Job, I know you're watching. Casey Job called me at a restaurant I used to cook at and said, I want you to play baseball. And he made it sound like I was some like D1 prospect.
Yeah.
Throwing like 70 miles an hour. So then I was like, oh man, this is my big break. So then I went there.
I'm going pro.
That's actually that is how we met. You want to know why? Because of you guys with the rival with Herkimer.
Yeah.
Mike Harrington is one of my best friends, and he played on there. And I remember I used to get into it with Joe. I used to be like, oh, like Herkimer's just way better than you guys. They dust you guys because they beat you like 23-0, or like Mercy Drew or something like that. Whatever
Harrington threw a perfect game.
Yeah, kid's got an arm. But that's how we did because in the gym, I remember I was going off with Job, and then I think me and you got into conversation at some point, and I don't even think we were like friends at the first point, but over the course of our obviously relationship, just became really good friends.
It's so funny you say the thing where like you felt like a D1 athlete because like at SUNY Adirondack they had a basketball team and I became friends with a couple basketball players because they were like in film and radio, like my first major before I switched to criminal justice. Imagine that, me in criminal justice. And there was a guy named Derek and his brother. Fuck, I forget the other guy's name, but they were like two like guys from Brooklyn, like fucking like, dude, they got hyped up from SUNY Adirondack. They're like, yeah, we need you to come play basketball. Like you could stay in the dorms, blah blah blah. So they're thinking they're coming to like this badass school and shit, and they come to fucking Queensbury, New York, and you're at ACC, dude.
Yeah, they're like, what the fuck is this?
They're like, oh, this is terrible.
The dorms were sick, though.
The dorms were sick.
They're unbelievable.
The first year was nice.
That's when I was a freshman.
Dude, the parties in there were actually pretty fucking sick.
Dude, every day.
Yeah, and like people weren't getting in trouble either. It's so fucking
No.
loud and shit too. And like my first semester there, they were still being built, so like people weren't like staying in the dorms. But then my second semester, like my friend Jack, who lived in South Glens Falls, paid for a dorm at ACC, which was fucking
Really?
10 minutes from his
Really?
fucking house.
Yeah, dude, you had your own like bathroom, you had your own shower, you had like a common room.
They were
then
nice
before you
dorms.
told, yeah, it was unbelievable.
Dude, it was like a suite. Like
Yeah.
they were wicked nice because I mean they were just fresh. They were just built too, which is really cool.
yeah.
But
Well, just hurt my finger.
how'd you hurt your finger?
I don't know. I rubbed it along the bottom and like it caught the tip, and I was like, oh, damn.
What'd you rub your finger on?
I think it was just a plastic part, and it hit funny.
That's weird. But okay.
Complete user error.
User error. So real quick, I'm gonna go to Brady. Brady, you're a business owner, right?
I am.
Look at my hat right now. We're all wearing the same hat. I'm not sure.
Sausville Benson, baby.
Yeah,
But I've been repping this thing for over a year.
Noah
just
has
put
been
it
there
on.
For
I've had multiple of these hats.
Yeah.
I've had 3 of these.
Yeah, he's got another one in here somewhere.
why
It's
do I only have
back
one?
out.
I only have one.
Well,
I was one
I
of the
got the
fir-
hats like a year ago, brother.
That's for a supporter.
I haven't seen you since my freshman year of college.
I know, right?
I'm actually pretty sure I got my first hat when you got your first package. It was one of the weekends I came down.
Yeah, we ordered like
I'll
I think
show
we
you my
ordered
package.
100. I think we ordered 100 of them from Richardson Snapback.
Dude, these are cool too. How like the logos actually like pop out.
Yeah,
and
it's
they're not,
dope,
like,
right?
See, I'm cheap. Like all my garage boozing hats are just like embroidered into the hat. But this is
Nice.
nice because it like actually comes out. This is a
Yep.
quality hat. I like it. It's my new favorite hat.
When we first got those hats, we were on the boat the weekend after, and I was tossing those fucking things around like they were candy. I'm like, you get a hat.
You get a car. You get a car.
There's
You
like-
get a car.
There's like 15 people that aren't clients or nothing. I don't even know who they are. I'll see people that have the hat on in their profile picture. I'm like, you're not even a fucking client. It's bad.
It's a quality hat though.
Yeah,
This
it's
is
nice.
It's a really nice hat. Oh, I kept the sticker on, but
Well
whatever.
made.
I should have taken it off. But anyway, so So back to it's Sausville Benson Financial.
Benson, yep.
Yeah, tell me about how did you get started in that industry?
In the industry, the Benson and Sausville Benson got me into the industry. He's a couple years younger than me. His name's Cordell. He had a cousin that was in the industry that did pretty well for himself.
What is the industry actually? So like, tell me about it. Like
Financial
what do you-
services, like insurances, investments, anything with a dollar sign.
Okay, so
Okay.
so not like car insurance though, right?
No. I mean, we can do car insurance, but it's like that's not where I spend my time.
You can do car insurance, so I can get like insured by.
Yeah, we could do health insurance. We can do anything.
Okay, so sorry to
It's
cut you off.
lit-
Keep going.
Yeah, no, you're good. It's literally like, our industry is so weird because you can get tomorrow, if I wanted to do a PNC thing, it's like take a test and you're good. So you really have to find a niche that you like.
PNC is property and casualty, if you didn't know that.
It's what? You're a little far from the microphone. I didn't hear you. He rolls up.
PNC is property and casualty.
Okay, so what does that mean?
Personal lines insurance is a different branch of insurance where you can do like auto, home, boat insurance.
Oh, property and casualty is like my home insurance? Yeah, no?
I think so.
I
I don't spend any time in that
No.
space. I focused on like educating people on their 401ks or where to save money or grow money or whatever. But really my job is like meeting people, learning about them,
Sure.
what people want, et cetera, what they're looking forward to, goals, concerns financially that they have. So I went to high school with Cordell. My first job was at his family's restaurant,
Who's
Benson's
Cordell?
restaurant. He's the Benson.
Oh, Cordell Benson. Gotcha.
Cordell Benson, yep. So him and I go to high school. He was actually homeschooled for...
What a nerd.
Did you know that? Yeah, he was homeschooled for like the first...
Sounds like a cool dude.
I think he's a wicked cool
He's
dude.
very genuine.
He's 24 years old. He's crushing it. Let me think.
A lot of people that are homeschooled too, like don't come out and just like be wicked cool. So that's sick.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of
think
homeschooled
that's-
people are
yeah,
just like homebodies.
I
Like
agree. So
introverts.
one thing with the Benson family though was they were like super straight and narrow, like America's family. You know what I mean? So through elementary school they were all homeschooled, but then I learned that you can't play sports if you're homeschooled, even though you pay school taxes, which is fucking stupid. So dumb, by the way. But he's a
Taxes.
big football guy.
Taxes suck. Taxation without representation. Now we're getting taxed more than ever.
Yeah, we can go down that route in like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But he ends up getting out. They don't homeschool anymore once they get to high school because he can't play high school football if he's homeschooled. So I end up meeting him through the restaurant because
Well,
that was
no
my first
shit.
job at 14 years old. Well, you'd say no shit, but they still pay school taxes. Stupid.
He's just homeschooled, but he can't play for the varsity or the JV or the varsity
Mm-hmm.
team because he's not actually enrolled in the school, but they pay taxes.
Yeah, but well, it's because he's in the school districts. Like whatever school district you're in, you're going to pay school taxes.
Right, which
Correct.
I would argue that he should be able to play football. But anyways, he's a big football guy, so he ends up enrolling in Cambridge Central, I think in middle school, maybe, roughly, at least his freshman year. So when I was 14, I got a job at his family's restaurant, and that was my first job, like bussing tables or whatever.
Did
Hated
you have
it.
Did you have your working papers?
Yeah.
Nice.
Had to go to the
guidance office?
Had to go to Miss Servanel for that.
Guidance
I know you're
counselor.
watching.
Got,
Shout
I know
out.
you're watching. Yep. Had to go to Miss Servanel at the time. Got my working papers. Was bussing tables. Didn't like it. Somebody accused me of stealing their credit card, which was crazy at the restaurant.
Did you steal it?
No, they were these old people that had Alzheimer's. Swear to God. Yeah. Rest
They
in peace
forgot
too.
where
They
their
ended
card
up.
was.
They
That's
ended up
okay.
passing away.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I ended up going back in the kitchen. Cordell and I worked side by side for like 7 years straight. And then he said, hey, my cousin got me this internship at Northwestern Mutual. So I was like, well, I kind of want to do that. It'd be cool to wear a suit.
It's a national company, right?
Yeah, they're pretty big. They're Northwestern Mutuals all over the place. So we get the internship. We crushed the internship. We did really well. Learned a lot. And then I really just hated pushing corporate shit. So he ends up going back to school because he's a few years younger than me. So he finishes his degree through Hartwick, played football, whatever.
So wait, how much younger than you is he? Because if you were
4 years, right?
cooking food at 14, he was 10 cooking food?
Dude, he was young. He was probably 11 or 12.
That sounds illegal.
He's worked there all his life. His family business.
Oh, is his family? Okay,
Yeah,
that
he
makes
worked
sense.
there all his life.
It's like a Chinese restaurant. You have like the 7-year-old bring you your General Tso chicken, you know?
Well, to be fair, when I was 14, I didn't meet him. So a couple years into it, I ended up meeting him.
Okay.
And we had like the same trigonometry class or whatever from Miss Robinson. I'll never forget it.
I hated trig.
And then what happened? We end up working at the restaurant. He gets into Northwestern Mutual, like stacking papers or whatever. He's like one of the youngest employees there in Latham. He's like, dude, the guys there are crazy. They make all this money, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. So I think the coolest thing about it is wearing a suit and tie every day to work because nobody in Cambridge does that shit.
Of course.
So he ends up getting into Northwestern Mutual, refers me to them. I get into Northwestern Mutual. He ends up leaving Northwestern, finishes his degree. I stayed the course because I already graduated. And then I left and became what's called independent. So really I don't work for anybody. So at the time I was working for Thoroughbred Advisors underneath a guy named Connor who crushes it.
One of the most, again, genuine people I've ever met.
Yeah,
Connor Boy's an amazing man.
He's crazy. The business that he produces is unbelievable.
So he still owns Thoroughbred.
Yep, he's still right down the street from us.
Okay.
We still work together. But I'm looking at a guy like Connor. I'm like, man, I want to do this. So Connor, I worked out of an office in Clifton Park. Again, all underneath the same agency after I left Northwestern Mutual, just as the independent side, which means instead of representing a company to somebody, I just represent them to all the companies we have access to.
Oh, so it's kind of like an insurance agent, kind of?
I was just going to
basically.
use that. Imagine like being like Progressive versus someone like Joe Venizio's business. So Joe Venizio is able to look at multiple different companies and see what's best fit for you in your current position versus someone like Progressive who's like, this is what we can do for you.
Dude, some people don't use an insurance agent. It blows my mind. Cause like,
I agree.
Yeah, I use Armor Group out of like Clifton Park or where the fuck they are. And dude, like every 6 months they're shopping to make sure I'm still on like the cheapest insurance and stuff like that. But like, I still want to make money, of course. You know, like I'm in sales. I get how it is. But I love the fact that every 6 months they're sending me an email and they're like, oh, yep, you're still on the right path. This is the best for you, blah, 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 which I know it is because my driving record sucks. But
Yeah, mine wasn't the best back in the day, but
over the course of the last couple years, I
Yeah.
definitely straightened mine out.
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, we're here now.
Except for that
So
car accident. Damn.
we end up leaving. Cordell was finishing his degree in Hartwick. He was a senior. He graduates. He texts me. He's like, "Hey man, are you still doing your thing?" I'm like, "Yeah, still financial planning, all this stuff." And I was like, "Dude, you ought to get back into the game." So he crushed it at Northwestern. I ended up getting him back in. And then like a year into what we were doing in Clifton Park, working underneath a company called Wise Financial, we said, why don't we just do this ourselves? So then we get out of Wise, and now we have an office right in Albany. We're closing on a new office in August.
yeah, like how did that work though? Like how did you just like branch off and like do your own thing? Because like that's so interesting to me.
Yeah, so we have a lot of good mentors. So Connor's wicked supportive.
You got to have a lot of good connections too, probably.
Absolutely. Connor's really supportive. He could have easily said, same thing with Chris and Jeff, which was the office. It's kind of confusing. There's Thoroughbred Advisors, there's Wise Financial. We're all underneath one agency, though. We all work together. I see them every week. So I go from Connor's to Chris and Jeff simply because it was closer to home, easier. And Connor was supportive of that. And then Chris and Jeff, I said to them, listen, well, Cordell and I both said to them, we were like, listen, we want to do this by ourselves. We want to have like a Sausville Benson Financial. We want to do what you guys have been doing.
So you have like your own business under another umbrella, technically.
Yeah, which is like the White Plains agency. So we have, I don't even know how many offices there's easily a dozen from here all the way down to White Plains. We just own one of them.
Okay, so you are a business owner, right?
Yeah. Yep. Sausville Benson LLC. It's
I was going to
partnership.
say you have an LLC. That's kind of cool.
Yep.
For you.
Yeah, definitely. It's
With an
interesting.
LLC, you can write off everything too, right?
We write off a lot. I try to. Taxes still kick my fucking ass.
Oh, they kick all our asses. It's,
Yeah.
Taxes are nuts.
Yeah, I have a lot
I
of clients that talk about that.
I hate looking at a paycheck and you look at like what your gross income is versus what your take home is, and you're losing like 30-40% of your money.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
it's unreal.
Crazy.
Especially us in the industry we're in.
Yeah.
Like, dude, well, actually, I feel like anybody that's commission based is gonna get like the same tax rate we do. But like, dude, you get a paycheck and it's like 38% is just taken out immediately. It's
Gone.
Yeah.
unreal. Like I was looking at my W-2 for last year, and like my gross versus my net made me sick.
Yeah,
It's
funny.
unreal.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like almost 50%. It's crazy.
You know what the craziest thing about it is? What? You know what the highest tax bracket was in history, in U.S. history?
What?
94%.
That's crazy.
Google it.
94%.
1945. Any dollar you made over $200,000 of income was taxed at 94%.
Well, dude, I mean, what year did you just say?
1945, I believe. You got to.
Dude, 200,000 in 1935 though. Yeah. That's like
that's
5 million now.
Yeah.
More, probably more.
It's crazy because like right now, what's scary is that everybody talks about taxes. Right now, we're in the lowest tax bracket, and I mean almost lowest in history, and at the highest tax bracket. So tax brackets go like marginally, which a lot of people think that if you look at tax brackets, you look at how much you make. It's really confusing to talk about in a podcast, but it's not exactly what you think. So the highest tax bracket is 37% right now. That's very low. So a lot of people think taxes are going up, so do I. So you need everything to be tax-free.
So that's like what we hit then, because we're
need to
getting
be
maxed out.
tax-free.
When you're commissioned, you get maxed out.
You max out on everything.
Yeah, you don't even think about the shit. Like you're making the money immediately, and you're like, oh yeah, I get everything. I basically eat what I kill. And
Yeah,
then
sure.
you start paying taxes, which do you guys pay taxes quarterly? How does it work with you guys?
Yearly.
Yearly, yeah.
Because we're
they get-
W2 employees.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so
You're
like
1099.
Oh, so you're an independent contractor.
yeah, exactly. That's exactly
Yeah.
my job. Yep. So I pay mine every 3 months.
Jesus.
Because if I don't, I'm going to look at a tax bill for.
So your paychecks
Fucking-
aren't getting taxes taken out of them. You got to. Oh, so you're paying in every 3 months.
Oh yeah, I literally text my accountant, or my accountant texts me, says, "Hey, you ready for your quarterlies?" I'm like, "No," and then the money comes out of my bank account the next day. That's how it works, literally.
So back to Noah real quick. So so me and Noah met because I had 5 tickets for free to this wrestling event with my friend Donovan. He was like, yeah, find 4 other people. My roommate, Nick, Ethan Kelsey, who I was really good friends with. And then he's like, oh yeah, he asked Noah. And I didn't know Noah at the time. I've heard of Noah, and I was like, I didn't like Noah at first.
I don't blame you.
We'll bring him.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. I don't think anybody like meet me actually likes me.
Yeah, well, I heard of Noah before that, and like I'm not gonna bring up what I heard of Noah, but I was like, I'm not a big fan of Noah. But like I never met him, and then dude, like once I met him, like we hit it off. Like
Yeah.
we
100%.
It's so crazy because like dude, after this wrestling event, we instantly became best friends. Like me and Noah were like glued to each other,
Dude,
like
it
best
was-
friends. It was nuts.
It was crazy. It was like met, and then it was like stay at his house.
Yeah.
Dude, like I was here for
He like
probably-
he lived here.
I like lived on the couch. Not really live, but like I would come here. I would stay here. I would do my whole everything here, and then I would go home, maybe shower, get clothes, come back.
Yeah, like dude, we just hit it off. It was so crazy. I've never had a friendship like that, which is really cool. And now you live with me, which is really cool.
That is cool.
I'm not sure where I was going with that. I said like I had something to say, and I didn't have anything to say, but I love you, dude.
I love you too, buddy.
What a guy. What do I have here? Oh yeah, so back to Sausville Benson Financial. I asked you before, kind of forgot what you said because I'm a little inebriated at the moment. So you told me about how you got there, but what exactly do you guys do? This is your time to fucking sell it. Get some clients here. Let's go.
So our business, basically, what we do every day is we meet with people and we find ways to give them tax-free income for the rest of their life. We give them vehicles to where they can put money into things and be able to use it while they're still living, instead of just locking it away into some sort of retirement account, which we do help them do, but it doesn't just have to be the only answer. Because I feel like a lot of 20-some-odd-year-olds and 30 and 40-some-odd-year-olds that are crushing it, I feel like they want money now.
Of course.
Okay, so when I meet with people, I'll do it with you right now. Forget if it's even possible. Forget 401ks and IRAs and stocks and bonds and mutual funds. Let's say there was an imaginary account that you could put money into. For it to be perfect for you, forget if it's even, and it's fair that I have never even asked you these questions before.
Yeah, you never have.
I know a lot of you guys are going to be like, oh, it's staged, because I'm going to be right in 2 minutes.
This is not staged at all, by the
Okay?
way.
What would you want this account to do to your money? For it to be perfect for your values? What would you say?
What do I want the account to do for my money?
Outside of a bank account, if I said, Chase, put money here, and this is how this account works, what would you want this account to do?
I don't know if I'm like
your money.
If I'm like in an emergency or something, like take the money out. Like
Okay.
that's a hard question. Like, what do I want the money to do? Or like what?
Sure. Like if I said, hey, put $100 into this account every month, and this is how the account works.
I'd want it to grow. Like I'd want it
Okay.
to. Like, of course. Like I.
Okay, yeah, growth is a good one. I think you said this, but I don't want to put words in your mouth. If I came back to you next week and said, this account's going to grow, but it's locked till retirement. Do you like that? Would you rather be able to touch it earlier?
I'd rather be able to touch it earlier.
Okay, so like the financial world, that we call that liquidity. So you want some sort of liquidity. Is it safe to say? Actually, no, I'm not going to ask it like that. Do you think taxes are going to go up or down? In general,
Up.
okay. So is it safe to say you want it to be tax free?
Is it what?
Is it safe to say wherever you put money, you want to be able to take it out tax free?
Of course.
So growth.
I took money out of my 401k last year. It was the dumbest thing I ever did. Fucking wrecked me.
Growth, liquidity, and tax free. That's the only thing people care about.
Yeah.
So we find ways and different types of vehicles that people can put money into to where they're going to grow. It's going to be liquid, so they can touch it for whatever reason they want. Nobody can tell them what to do. Employers, the government, especially the IRS, and they want it to be tax free.
Everybody wants it to be tax-free, you know?
Yeah,
like I said,
exactly.
I literally took money out of my 401k last year. It was the dumbest thing I ever did because I got penalized and then I got like 20% state, 20% fucking federal. Like, they fucking wrecked me, dude. And like,
Bent you over.
And when I'm taking the money out too, it asks me how much money I want to prepay on the taxes. I'm 0 because I'm a fucking idiot. And then like when I'm doing my tax returns this year, like, dude, that's like $5,000 just in fucking fees in my taxes. So this is the lowest tax return like I've ever gotten since I've been working at our employer, and it was just nuts. And I was like, holy shit. So if there's a way to do that without getting taxed, who wants to get taxed? Who's like, please tax me, sir? I want to get taxed. Nobody, you know, like
Yeah, exactly.
taxes are fucking nuts.
Yeah, and that's what we do. And we're going to have we probably have a dozen agents right now in our office, but we're moving into a new one in August.
So you have like employees and stuff?
Yeah, so.
Have you fired anybody?
No.
You pussy.
We've had times where it doesn't work out, but our mantra, I guess, is manage them up or manage them out. So like the last thing I'm gonna do is string somebody along, be like, oh yeah, it's gonna be great in 3 years.
That's the worst.
Yeah, fuck that. Because our job is 100% commission.
Yeah.
100%. So there's this bullshit thing that advisors say at the corporate world, like Northwestern or Primerica or whatever. And they'll be like, oh, 5 years in, you're supposed to make it. And Cordell and I were like, why does that have to be 5 years? So we have agents that just started last year. I mean, producing, because they're not here, I'm not going to say what they make, but from a production standpoint, Noah's in the industry too. It's like he knows, they've done numbers, they put up numbers that 3, 4, 5 year reps will never even come close to. But that's only because we're independent. So I really try to focus on like the psychology around how people think, how they make decisions, what makes them feel good. Because that's really all that matters.
Yeah.
You got to develop some sort of a strong relationship with somebody if you want them to be their client.
I always say, if you can make a friend, you can make a sale.
Yeah, exactly. Like it doesn't really matter. And the way that we get paid is
Sell
a lot
yourself,
different.
dude.
Mm-hmm. The way that we get paid is a lot different. We're not fee-based planners. Like not one of my clients gives Sausville Benson Financial their money. I just find the companies for them to put money into, and I get paid by those companies.
I will say really quick, like I did have a friend that was working for Northwestern Mutual who like I did sign up for like some insurance thing for a while, and after I was like, oh, this is really expensive, and I deleted it. But I would love to meet with you. Like I would love to talk with you because like I trust you, of course.
Absolutely.
And two, you're my friend, so.
Yeah, we'll show you the new office. We're gonna have a banger of a party.
Really?
Banger. Of
You have
a
a
party.
part. You're gonna have a party
Like
at the
a
office?
grand opening. Yeah. It's gonna be fun.
Is there gonna be
Dude,
alcohol?
This office is sick.
Is there gonna be alcohol at the party?
Yeah, sure, whatever you want.
Oh, you can
Actually, do you guys know Connor Neal?
Yeah.
I think he still does the beer car business.
Yeah, he does.
So I'm gonna
Connor's
get
my
him-
boy. I graduated high school. with
I'm
Connor.
gonna get him to come in August or September at the latest.
Oh,
when we
the
close.
fucking the Craft on Wheels.
Yes.
Shout out Craft on Wheels.
Oh, yeah, in support for the Garage Boozing Podcast. It is brought to you by Manscaped. Manscaped will help you trim up the family jewels to make everything nice and right for the ladies. Make sure that you're using promo code TGBP20 for 20% off your Manscaped products. Oh, yeah!
That's a nice watch you got on there too, by the way.
This is my favorite watch of all time to wear. And is it still on there?
Is that a Rolex?
It is.
Legit?
It's on my wallpaper on my.
Hold on, let me look at the little fucking second hand and make sure it's
Yeah, it doesn't tick. Go ahead, it sweeps.
It doesn't tick, it sweeps.
I think,
You want a Rolex, didn't
I
you
think
know?
that's my 2023 purchase.
I love
Rolex?
It was originally looking between like an M3 and M4, but I think a watch would be a better long-term investment than a vehicle right now. 'Cause my vehicle's fine. I like my vehicle. It drives nice. It is what it is.
Yeah, it
but
hits people and like it's crashed and stuff. It's pretty sick.
Yeah. The thing with the watches is
I love watches, man.
Yeah.
They just retain value of where they are. For
It's
the
so
most
funny
part.
because like I have a watch rack in my room with all my watches, and like I've bought like Citizen stuff like that, and like during the pandemic, I really wanted to buy a Rolex, but there was a wait list for like 3 years.
It's
somewhere.
crazy.
So I put $100 deposit. Still haven't heard back from the place. It's a fucking jewelry store in Saratoga. But every day, like normal life, I'll put my fucking Apple Watch on just because like it's convenient.
Yeah.
I get a text message when I'm with a customer, I can fucking read it. It's easy. But like if I'm going out to something nice, I love wearing a nice watch, dude.
It's
like
amazing.
nothing feels better than wearing a nice watch. Like, dude,
amazing.
a watch can make your fucking outfit.
It definitely.
Totally.
I think learning how to match watches with your outfit is actually very, very important. And learning how they properly clash with outfits is even better. Because
Totally.
if you can wear a certain outfit and it clashes with your outfit right, nothing looks better.
Yeah, and it makes me feel good.
Yeah,
amazing.
like
Like,
look good, feel good.
Before anybody shits on paying 10+ grand on a watch, the
Go
only
buy
reason,
one first.
Yeah, the only reason I ever
Wait,
wanted
how much
one,
was that watch? Can I ask that?
Yeah, I got this for $17,500.
17,500.
Yeah,
That's my rich friend.
yep, I got it for $17,500.
He's like, yeah.
But when I bought it, I could not afford it. I will say that. Then don't do that. That's a terrible idea.
I remember the first one you ever bought.
Yeah,
Sitting
so
right
I
next
had.
to you.
Yeah, I had one. I had a Rolex Yachtmaster.
That's the first one.
I bought it at a jewelry store in Latham, Albany maybe.
It was late.
I think
Same
Is
thing.
it Latham? Yeah, I guess it's the same thing. Sold it, made a little bit of money on that, and then I saw this one for sale, and I couldn't pass it up because it's my favorite watch of all
Yeah, that's a
time.
sick watch. I like how it's silver and gold because you can match that very well, you know?
Yeah, exactly, and it just makes you feel good.
Now, like with jewelry, do you guys like jewelry? It sounds so weird, but like it is jewelry. I know, right? Like, what else do you call it?
Timepieces.
Yeah. Well, like with a watch or like a necklace, like do you prefer silver or do you prefer gold? Because I feel like gold's pretty old school. I love silver, man.
That's tough for me.
I think I'm a gold guy.
I would agree with Brady. It is situational. There's certain watches that I like that are silver. There's certain watches I like that are gold. It really does depend on the whole look for me. Like I would never buy a whole gold watch, but I would never buy like an all silver watch. It depends how the colors complement. Like if silver with like a blue face, I would buy that. But like gold with a green face or gold with a red face complement each other very well. So I'd wear those.
Yeah. So like my watches, if I have like a silver watch with like a green face, I won't wear a red shirt with that. I would wear like green with it because I want everything to match.
What
you
if
know?
it's Christmas time?
Shit, that's true. If it's Christmas time, then I'll be like, fuck it, I'll wear the red sweater.
You have to.
And back to the silver, I mesh a little bit. So like my Apple Watch is all silver, but I have this like bracelet on my arm, which my grandma gave to me, which is gold from like 1970 that my grandpa bought her, and she gave it to me. So like this thing's old as hell, but like my grandma gave it to me, so I'm never gonna take it off. Like it's to the
Exactly.
point where like it doesn't come off. I shower with it, I jerk off with it, like I keep it on all the time.
I love that for you.
My grandma gave it to me, and I just said I jerk off with it. That's kind of weird. I wear a silver watch on my left hand and a gold like bracelet on my right hand, but like most people don't see this because it's like really big. Like my grandma's kind of fat, I'm not gonna lie, but so it like sinks down my arm. So that's okay. I've told her I make jokes about her.
Yeah, you're
All right.
with that.
Yeah, I'm wild with my grandma. She's cool. Like it's a joke.
Yeah.
Like I love my grandma so much. Like I've never known her when she was skinny, so whatever. But anyway, what I'm saying is like this like sinks down my wrist. So if I'm wearing a shirt, like it covers it up. So I feel like if it was out here and I'm wearing gold and silver, does that mesh or is it just like cool because who gives
like
a
it.
fuck? And then my chain around my neck is black.
I mean, that's what this is: gold, silver, a little bit of black.
To me, I like it only because it's sentimental.
Me
I
too,
think that's
yeah.
more important than anything. If you're wearing something that's sentimental to you, I think that's important.
I really don't.
Yeah.
I don't plan to take this off for the rest of my life. Like,
If
Yeah,
I were
exactly.
you, I would have it fitted for your wrist though.
yeah, but I don't know because like I don't want to take a piece out of it. You know?
Well, what I'm thinking is over the longevity of your life, that's gonna get caught and stuff, and if it breaks, you're gonna be a lot more upset than if you just spent the $5 to have it fit to your wrist. Imagine you're walking into somewhere and it gets caught on like something, rips. Never forgive yourself.
I'd be so mad.
Yeah.
Touche.
Speaking of sentimental, though, the one thing I love about understanding watches, like I could look at a watch across. I go to the Edison Club a lot. I'll look at a watch across the room, and I'll walk up to the guy, and I'll be like, "Hey, what's the story behind that?" You'll learn so much about somebody.
It's so
Like,
interesting.
oh, I was gonna give that to my son. And, dude, I've got some crazy. There's this one guy I met like 2 weeks ago. He's like, oh, I was gonna give this Rolex to my son, and he passed away. You learn, yeah, it's crazy.
that's sad.
You learn a lot about people. Like nobody just goes out and wakes up one morning, oh, I'm gonna buy a Rolex.
Do you want to know
Oh, of
what's funny?
course.
Is if you talk to people who have like high-end watches, there's always a story behind them.
Yeah.
I remember I met a guy who owns Roman Jewelers in Albany and had a Patek Philippe on, and it was like a $250,000 watch. And he had a story behind it. I won't share his stories, but a lot of cool stories behind watches and people who actually take the time to invest in them. There's a lot.
Yeah,
behind
my
them.
grandpa's a big watch guy too. So like, he's the one that actually got me interested in watches, because like, dude, old people, they love QVC and all that shit. So they see the stuff come up on TV, and my grandpa has all these watches. And like, back like I don't know, 10 years ago, there was this watch called the Russian Diver. So like, it's like a really nice watch, but it's like, dude, my grandpa's like a big dude. This guy was a New York City firefighter, like huge. He's like 6'3", like probably 220 pounds, something like that. And he, like me, I got little frail wrists because I'm a pussy. But him, he's literally got like, he's got this watch. Oh, it's true. I'm a bitch, dude. I don't care.
Okay. All right.
So he's got this fucking watch that's got like the links, and then this fucking head on this watch is like huge.
Yeah.
It's probably like that big, dude. And he has
like a sand dollar.
Yeah, and he's got like 4 of them. And I was like, wow, that's really cool. And he would always show me like, oh, this is the Russian Diver, and I'm like, yeah, the Russian Diver, real cool. Like I didn't know what it meant, but it got me interested in watches. So eventually I started buying Citizen watches, stuff like that, and then my watch collection grew. But I do want a Rolex. I do want a Rolex really bad.
Yeah, that's.
And another thing about my grandpa, which is really cool, he's actually the one that got me interested in like collecting old money, because about 2 years ago during the pandemic.
I remember that about
Yeah,
you.
right, yeah.
Yep.
So he gave me like these $5 bills that his uncle gave him, because his uncle was like a police officer in New York City. And before he passed away, he gave my grandpa this thing, which was like, had a couple bills in it, like 2 $5 bills, 2 $20 bills from like 1910. And I'm like, oh my God, that's like 100 years old. That's so cool. So then I start going up on eBay, and I ended up buying like a penny from 1798, like a bunch of old money. Dude, my old money collection has grown so much. I started off with that, and within 2 years, I literally have a whole book in my. Have I showed that to you before? Yeah, it's mad cool, dude. Like I started off collecting foreign money just from like going on trips and stuff. Like I went on a cruise back in 2016 with like my family and stuff, and went to the Bahamas, exchanged a dollar for a Bahama dollar. I thought that was cool. So half the collection is like foreign money, and the other half is like old money. But I think the old money is so much cooler.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I have a Confederate fucking $50 bill from like 1850, like when the states were divided and shit.
Hell yeah.
Dude,
That's really
so
cool. That's
fucking
crazy.
cool. Yeah, and like some of it's in like beat up condition, but some of it's in really good condition. I probably have like 10 grand worth of just like money sitting in my fucking.
That's funny.
Yeah, in my closet, which is like. It was funny.
It's unique.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
He goes, yeah.
Yeah.
No, but it is kind of, it's just a cool hobby. So every once in a while, like I look up on eBay, like an old person's trunk. Wow.
That was a good joke. Whoa.
A lot of the money I've looked up on eBay, and like if you look up junk drawer on eBay, it's like if somebody passes away, which is really sad, but like the relative. I know.
Okay, that I didn't mean to laugh at that. Which is really sad.
No,
Wow.
rewind.
This lady got into a car crash, which is really sad, but
Yeah, she was 93, and like now her grandkids are selling her junk
I know.
junk drawer. God damn it, I can't fucking say it. So yes, anyway, so a lot of these I find if I just Google on eBay, junk drawer, because it's like literally like everybody has a drunk. Why do I keep saying that? Junk drawer.
Junk drawer.
It's pretty tough for you to say
I
words
know.
this evening.
Like we have one in the kitchen that has like all the fucking thumbtacks and tape and like random shit. But it would be these people's like junk drawer that would just have like random pennies that were like 100 years old, like money 100 years old, and then like fucking sports cards and shit, which I don't care about, which a lot of people do. I guess you can make a lot of money with fucking cards and stuff, but I haven't dove into that. But either way, it's just so cool. Like having in my hand like a penny from 1798 or whatever. It's probably not the exact year, but it's 1790 something. And like just holding it and knowing that this has gone through so many hands, that's fucking cool.
I was just
Many
gonna say
different
that.
hands.
Yeah.
Imagine
Many.
like if you could track the history of where that dollar or that coin has been and like was
Yeah.
in circulation.
Or like see every person that's had it in their hand, like touch it and shit.
What
Like
kind
that's
of
so
song-
cool.
What kind of songs were in at that time?
Yeah. That's wild, but yeah, kind of.
Crazy.
What guitars were played with that coin
my
potentially?
I don't even know if they had guitars back then. That's crazy. Isn't it crazy like back then too in like 70, 90, whatever, like people didn't even brush their teeth? Isn't that nuts?
Yeah.
You know they had like
I mean, the
insurance
Declaration of
for
Independence
like
is only 30 years
hundreds of
old.
thousands of years, right?
What'd you say?
You know they've had insurance for like hundreds of
Oh yeah,
and
but like
thousands of years.
And then toothbrushes are like 200 years old,
Yeah.
which is crazy. What'd you say?
You want to know why I said it's crazy to think that the Declaration of Independence was only 30 years old.
30?
1776. You said 1790 something, right?
Oh, you mean compared to the penny?
20 something.
I thought you meant compared to now. I was like, that's like 300.
No.
Dude.
But you know what's a real bitch that I just thought of when you said toothbrush? I think about like chapstick.
I love chapstick. I always have chapstick in my
But that's
pocket.
the name. Like, that's the brand.
No. And so this right here, I ripped the
Right,
label
but that's
off.
not chapstick, but it's chapstick. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Just like a tissue.
Exactly.
It's Kleenex. Sorry,
a
Kleenex. People call it a Kleenex.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I know what you're
Chapstick
saying,
is-
but Kleenex,
Chapstick
no.
is a brand.
Some people are like, hey, can you grab me a Kleenex? And it's just like a tissue from like Hannaford brand or like
Right.
Price Chopper brand, Walmart
Right.
brand.
I see what you're saying. I see what
So
you're
like people like our age always say tissue, but like older people are like, yeah, Kleenex. I get what you're saying.
Oh, how about those guys that put the handkerchief in their pocket?
My grandpa does that. I'm like, oh, dude, you've been sneezing into that thing for 30 years. What the fuck?
I'm still caught up on the tooth thing because I had a tooth pulled less than a year ago.
Oh, dude.
One of the worst moments. Of
Yeah,
my
me
life.
too. Yeah, we had teeth pulled within the same like 3 months.
Yeah. What a traumatic experience that
I
was.
haven't had a tooth
Makes
pulled.
you feel alive though.
Yo, you know what's
Yeah,
really
it
cool? When
does.
you went to the dentist in like high school and like you're gone from school for 3 hours and you go and get a tooth pulled because you're a high schooler and you have a shit ton of cavities and you come back with McDonald's and everyone
just
else
gonna
is
say that.
everyone else is eating a chicken patty and you walk in with the fucking 10-piece nugget and you're like, yeah.
And the Sprite is still falling down your lip from the Novocaine.
Yeah, because half your mouth is like,
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I remember going to the dentist when I was like 8 and 9 years old, and my parents would give us like donuts before we went, and then we had to brush our teeth because that was where like incentivized us to get there.
Yep.
We'll give you glazed donuts, but like you got to brush your teeth before we go in.
you got to brush before you go.
Yeah,
Have to.
As if they can't tell you got like fresh toothpaste right here.
Oh, yeah. I will say, I love the dentist. I don't know about you guys. I fucking love it. I love nothing more than laying down in that chair and having clean my teeth, except when they're like fucking knuckle deep in my mouth and they're like asking me about my day and I'm like, you know, like that sucks.
I can't
I'm
stand
not a
the
dentist fan.
I love it. I just love having my teeth clean. But like I've always been really anal about my teeth
Oh.
ever since I became an adult. And I haven't had a cavity since I was like in high school.
No fucking way. I go to Sitwell Dental in Malta. So does Noah.
That's where they
We're
pulled
on
my
the Sit-
tooth.
We're on the Sitwell Dental plan.
Let's go.
It's like $300 for the whole year. Don't need any insurance.
Never used it once
Amazing.
outside of that.
Two cleanings covered.
2 cleanings covered.
I fucking hate the dentist though.
And
Everything
I-
about
You don't
it.
like having your teeth clean?
Not even
do you want to see a
close.
funny picture of me at the dentist?
I would love it.
Not even
I can
close.
get my phone first.
Not-
Waiting to get my tooth pulled.
Why do you have
I
sunglasses?
remember
on?
that.
And then, quick aftermath. Face kind of swollen. Fucked.
Yeah.
Fucked.
Mine were two wisdom teeth in the top.
I gotta get
It's
this
bad.
one pulled. So when I got this one pulled, they're like, "Hey, this one's fine. You want to get that pulled?" I went back for a checkup. They're like, "Oh, that should probably come out." I was like,
God.
"Why don't we just do it the same day?"
You know, Novocaine's kind of cool though. I do like Novocaine.
It's an amazing thing.
I hate needles though. So like when they have this big ass fucking horse tranquilizer about to go in my mouth, I'm like, oh fuck, knock me out before you stick it in my mouth. But like it hurts for a second, and then it all feels great, and then I'm like, oh, this is awesome. What did I say?
You gotta knock me out before you stick it in. So
Oh god. Is that how I said it? That's how I said
you
it.
said
Oh.
knock me out before you
Knock
stick
me out
it
where
in
you
my
stick it
mouth.
in my mouth.
Wow.
I can't believe that when they, well, we are getting sidetracked. I can't believe that when they pull teeth out, they actually pull them out.
Dude, with a fucking like,
Yeah, it's like
wrench.
yeah, it's
or what's it
weird.
called?
Pliers.
Pliers. Yeah,
It's
pliers. Yeah, they're ripping it.
In your mouth,
Yeah.
and they're just yanking.
Yeah.
Did you
I
see
had,
your roots when you were done?
No, I want to though. Do you remember what my tooth looked like? It's bad. That wisdom tooth is
Yeah,
like
it was
black. Yeah, two of
was
my wisdom teeth. I
dead.
was wide awake, and they just pulled them both out.
So, did you get your wisdom teeth taken out or no?
Only the top two last year.
What about your bottom?
Still in?
So I have my 2 on the top in, and the bottom are like kind of through, so like I can feel a little bit of the tooth. And dude, my dentist every time is like, "Oh, I really think you should get them out." And like, "Pfft, you just want the commission from the fucking what are they called? The fucking person that actually takes the wisdom teeth out. Fuck.
The dentist,
Dental hygienist.
No, because they send you somewhere else. It's the fucking.
the surgeon.
I got mine done same place.
Yeah, my.
Where do you get braces done?
orthodontist?
Orthodontist?
Yeah, that's who they were saying would take my wisdom teeth out.
Interesting.
So, interesting. I don't know. This is what my doctor.
I don't believe that.
I'm like,
but-
you just want the kickback.
Well,
like,
like my experience was I went in, they're like, "Yeah, I gotta go," and I was like, "Okay," and they're like, "Want to get it out?" I'm like, "Yeah."
I'm petrified to get my wisdom teeth out.
Yeah, so was I last year, dude. It sucked.
But like now, like I'm at the point where like I think I have to because my one on my left top literally keeps growing. Like it won't stop. Like it's like farther down than any of them other my tooth. Interesting. I love it.
By a substantial amount.
Interesting.
So I'm just trying to think about that.
Probably about like that much. It's not terrible.
Is it an interesting feeling when you rub your tongue along your teeth and it's
Yeah.
like a bump?
Uh-huh.
I don't like that feeling.
Man, I will say it actually doesn't hurt in the moment. It's the weirdest fucking thing in the world. It's only pressure.
Did you take like laughing gas?
No, just Novocaine. And I'll tell you why.
Same.
Number one, because I drove myself there. I needed to drive home. Number two, because I have this.
I'm a pussy. I'll get a ride.
No. The best thing you could do is just face the fear. I'm
Nope.
terrified of the dentist. I said, okay, if I'm going to go there, I'm just going to have him take it out. Just fucking do it.
As
and
soon
then
as
they did
you-
it, and I'm happy that because now whenever something bad happens, I'm like, it can't be as hard. This can't be as hard as like having my teeth pulled.
As soon as you told me that you didn't go under, I was like, there's no way
Yeah,
that I'm
you
going to let him
can't.
beat me at that.
It wasn't that bad. Afterwards, my mouth was really sore, and I bled like a motherfucker, but it was fine.
You want to know what? You handled it a lot better than I handled mine. I was rough for a couple days. Like, I couldn't really talk. Like, it bled
Really?
for probably 2.5, 3 days.
My pain
Straight.
tolerance is negative 1,000. So
I'm pretty high on pain
if
tolerance.
you slap me in the face right now, I'd probably cry because like I'm a pussy. Oh yeah. Go
I
ahead,
feel
slap
like my
me.
pain
Slap
tolerance
me,
is
go
all
ahead.
right.
Go
I
ahead.
don't want to.
Oh, what a good friend. I was hoping he would say that. I was really scared because look at those big arms. I was like, oh, fuck, I'm getting knocked out. But yeah, my pain tolerance sucks. But like, I don't know if my dentist is like, I don't know if they're just like trying to get me to get my wisdom teeth out. But like,
Probably.
they do say like, once you hit like your late 30s, like it can cause a lot of problems if you keep them in. But why the fuck do we have them then if they're
There's a
causing all these
kid
problems?
rest his soul. There's a kid in Queensbury that died from having his teeth pulled when I was in college.
Then I'm not getting my wisdom teeth out then.
dude,
Like,
he didn't have, or I'm sorry, not from having his teeth pulled. He didn't get a tooth pulled, so you should get them out.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't get
Yeah.
a tooth pulled, and an infection spread to like
Yep.
went to like his brain.
What
or
is that
whatever.
called again? We were talking about it with Breeze.
I think it's called being dead. I don't know.
Jesus.
I want to keep saying asbestos, but
That's
that's like
fucked
that's
up.
like a bacteria in like,
Isn't that something like in the walls?
yeah, wasn't even close.
Anyway, love gambling. Love it. We should gamble together sometime.
No.
You're done? You give up?
I don't do it anymore. It's been like 2 years since I really went to the casino.
What if I give you $500 to gamble with?
Oh, we'll go tonight.
I'm in. We're going tonight.
Yeah. Go to the casino.
Are you coming?
No.
What if you win like $1 million?
If he's gonna give us 500.
You know what's really funny?
Buddy, I'm gonna take that 500, I'm gonna pocket 400 of it and spend it on something fun.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll blow $100 in 5 minutes. Be like, see ya.
My worst casino experience was at Saratoga, the Saratoga Casino Raceway. It sucks for me because like I fucking love gambling and I hate it at the same time because when I lose money, of course we all get fucking mad. I'm punching my steering wheel on the way home.
Yeah.
But
Airbag goes off.
we literally work right next to Saratoga Casino. So like
Yeah, you
sometimes I got nothing to do. I'm like, oh, I got some free play on my account. Yeah, let's go spend some money. So one day after work, I go there, right? And there was this game that they used to have called Fireball. It's gone now, but
Yeah, fireball.
Fireball. Yeah. Pew, pew, pew. Yeah. So there was 10 seats at the time, right? And I get there, and it was my favorite game because the max spin's only $2. So like I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck, I'm a bigwig. I'm a high roller.
Fireball.
Yeah. And I'm sitting there for like 3-4 minutes, sitting there spinning. I put $100 in. I'm down to like 60 at this point. And some old lady walks in next to me, and she's like walking up to the machine.
What's she doing?
She's going like this. She's like using her walker, going like this. And then she sits down directly to my right, literally the next where you are to me, directly next to me. And she looks over at me. She's putting her little card in, and then she puts her money in, and she goes, "You know, I hate this machine. You either win or you lose." And I'm thinking to myself, no shit, lady. You either win or you lose. What the fuck do you mean? And like, when I'm in the zone gambling, I fucking hate when people talk to me.
What'd she say?
I hate this machine. You either win or you lose. So like, don't fucking talk to me when I'm in the zone gambling. Like when I'm sitting there next to somebody and we're on the same slot machine, they're like, "Oh, I hope I hit a bonus. Oh, good job." When I get it, like, fuck off, dude. I don't want to talk to you. So anyway, she's there for literally 2 minutes, dude. And then boom, hits the biggest progressive. All right, she hits the biggest thing. It's like $124,000, and then
That's
she hits a progressive to double that to $248,000 directly to my right. I was there for less than 10 minutes.
That's insane.
If that was me sitting there in that machine, that could have been me. So I'm fucking sick.
And that's why gamblers will always stay gamblers because of that. And
I'm like, that can happen to me.
It
It can happen to me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I couldn't believe it when this thing's going. $100, bing, 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 bing. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, lady?
Yeah.
But then I hit a jackpot like a month before for like 10 grand. And this one girl sitting next to me, she's like, oh my God, I'm out of money. Like, can I just have $100? She's a little nice old lady. So I'm like, all right, fine. I'll give her $100. Saw her 2 hours later, still on like a different machine.
That's crazy.
Like, yeah. So like, I'm thinking, oh, if I'm really nice to the girl, maybe she'll give me some money. So I'm like, oh my God, congratulations. That's awesome. She's like, oh my God, I'm going to pay off my grandson's college. Like, she's freaking out. And I'm like, oh, you motherfucker. So then like these things are going off and you can't just take the ticket out. Like the attendant has to come and like they give you like the big giant check. And these people are like, this is one of the biggest jackpots in Saratoga history. This is amazing. I'm like, will you shut the fuck up? Yeah. I'm like, are you fucking serious? So I'm being really nice to her. And she's like, all right, see you later. And she leaves. I'm like,
Didn't give you anything.
no. I'm like, fuck this machine. I was so mad. That was terrible. I felt sick to my stomach.
Oh, man.
But either way, I don't know. Gambling's fucking fun. Slot machines are the best. No better high than a slot machine. Oh, yeah. So, Brady, you said you're colorblind. What colors can you see? Wait, do you know what colors are? Or are you just like dumb?
If you look at it, if
you're colorblind, you don't see colors.
I am colorblind. If you look at a Christmas tree and I can't tell red and green. I can't tell like yellow and green, brown and green, blue and purple.
So blue and purple look the same.
Have you ever seen a colorblind test?
No.
What?
Go to.
You've never seen a colorblind
yeah,
test?
those circles
where
with the
like
numbers.
you can't see certain numbers.
You guys
inside
will
the
be able to
circles?
see. You guys will.
Oh,
be
I
able
see
to
every
see.
color. I've done
I
that
know.
before on like MySpace.
You guys will be able to see MySpace. You guys will be able to see
profile song.
You guys will be able to see the numbers inside of circles. There's like a whole bunch of different colored dots. I can't see anything. It's just a bunch of blurred colors. But dude, I'll do it in 2 seconds. Look at this. Okay, if you Google like colorblind test.
Sometimes I think he's lying. And like this has just been the biggest charade for years.
Yeah, dude, like Riley,
really
for
something to
example,
lie.
Riley would wear pink shorts and you'd think they're white. And I'm like,
Can you
dude.
see a number there?
Yeah, 74.
I can't see that at all. I can see this is 12 though.
That is 12.
Yeah. But like this stuff is all just colors.
69.
That's 8.
That is,
Right.
yeah. That's an 8 ball right there.
So there's like
Jesus Christ.
Edit that out, Chase.
so there's it's like a whole that's 12 clearly. I don't know what that is to
Love.
save my life. What?
Love.
It says love. Yeah, that's crazy to me.
Wow. So like,
Yep.
what color's the sun?
Yellow.
Blind. Like you ask someone, hey,
People will say it to me all the
what
time.
color's the sun? You look at it.
They'll be like, oh, what color is the sky? I was like, oh, what color are my jeans? I'm like, they're blue. It's different. It's like when other colors are near it.
Yeah.
The sunlight will fuck with me bad though.
So question, like when you look at the tractor.
red.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know that because you know what it actually is, or?
Yes, I can see red all by itself.
Oh, okay.
Unless it's next to.
Oh, so the colors colliding.
What if it was next to orange?
If there was an orange stripe on that tractor, I wouldn't be able to tell what color the stripe is.
Wow, I feel.
I might say green or vice versa.
Oh, I didn't realize that about color. I thought you just couldn't see the color as a whole. So it's just when the colors are like near shades. And
Well, if that was the case, then when I say blue and purple, I wouldn't be able to tell what color the sky is.
It's purple.
Yeah.
Yo, like it's so crazy to like back to the colorblind thing. So technology's out there now where I'm seeing like videos on like Facebook and shit where like people were blind or went blind later in life and they have surgery and they put these little glasses on.
Yeah,
and they're waking up and seeing all the colors. Imagine that. One, if I was blind, I don't know if I'd want to live.
I agree.
Imagine not being able to see. Like, fucking take me out.
Yeah.
I'm done.
I mean, what purpose do you serve?
Especially like now, especially where like some people are born blind. I get that kind of because you got to like live and go through it.
It's like living in a pocket.
Yeah, but like imagine like. But like,
you're like a baby Joey inside of a kangaroo.
But like, imagine like having vision and seeing all the colors, and then having that taken away from you, and then having it given back to you. Like that's amazing. All right, well, I think that's all the time we have here today. Like that, we had one hell of a podcast. It was a great conversation.
That was a while.
Oh God, it's 10:25 p.m. Holy shit, Cinco de Mayo, baby. Where's the margaritas? Sign me up.
Margaritas.
But yo, both of you guys, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of the Garage Boozing Podcast.
Thanks for having us.
I got a lot of editing to do, that's for sure. But
yeah,
got your work cut out.
Yup.
Yep. Woo! Woo! Without further ado, folks, I'll see you nerds next week. Actually, just kidding. I'll see you nerds 2 weeks from now because now we're doing them every other week. So fuck you and see you later.
Hey nerds, please don't forget the #1 way to support the brand. Buy buy some merch. We've got hats, hoodies, sweatshirts, t-shirts, and it's all available to you at www.garageboozing.net/shop. And don't forget to follow on all your favorite social media accounts as well as YouTube at Garage Boozing. And of course, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe, whatever the button may be, to the Garage Boozing Podcast on your favorite podcast platforms so you can be notified as soon as a new episode is released.
Ladies, gentlemen, and nerds. Do you have what it takes to be a guest on the fastest growing, alcohol chugging, and nonsense talking podcast? Well, now is your chance. The Garage Boozing Podcast has new guests every week, and you could be one of them. Just simply log on to www.garageboozing.net, click the Be on the Show tab, and submit your information. It's that simple. Join the boozement, or be a loser. Don't miss your chance, because we're taking this to the moon.